Broadcasting live from the Newsmax studio in New York City, here is Steve Malzberg.
I've been really shocked to see how aggressive people have gone after the president for bringing an American soldier home. And it seems like there's a narrative forming. And I want you to tell me if I'm wrong. The narrative is, let's take this guy, this soldier that we got home, diminish him, turn him into some kind of a caricature. We don't know if he's a traitor, say negative things about him, insult his family, and then take the 5 that we're releasing, build them up into this mega threat against us, and then say that the president of the United States is a traitor who turned in a traitor to let out our enemies. Is that the kind of Benghaziization of this that you think is appropriate for Republicans?
Wow, I wonder if he thought of that all by himself or if he had help. Welcome back. Joining us now is my friend Roland Martin, host of NewsOne Now on TV1. It airs daily from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Hello, my friend.
Hey, how's it going, Steve?
I'm doing well. All right. You agree with Van Jones here, or do you think what the president did here is pretty reprehensible?
Well, first of all, as we say, what the president did, do you mean trading 5 folks to get our soldier back?
Trading 5, those 5 in particular, not telling Congress, holding the little celebration at the Rose Garden. It turns out the guy went AWOL, possibly, probably. I mean, the whole thing.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, we don't have the details of the military's investigation in terms of what happened with him. What we do have is we have individuals who served in this unit coming out to report to them. So that's first. So I mean, I like to deal in facts as opposed to drama and hysteria. 2, I'm not going to call it reprehensible because the fact of the matter is the president was well within his power to do so. Now we can debate that. We can give members of Congress, Democrat or Republican, they can say, "Oh, you should have consulted us," but the reality that was the case. It is certainly true that when a soldier is left on the battlefield, a soldier is in that theater, we are to get our soldier back. We can deal with him, Bergdahl. We can deal with him when he's back on U.S. soil. He can be court-martialed. He can go through some kind of administrative hearing once the investigation is complete. Once we are very clear as to exactly what happened on that particular night. But no, I'm not going to call it reprehensible what the president did. Absolutely not.
What would you call it?
I would say the president doing what the commander-in-chief is supposed to do, and that is get a soldier back. It's also very interesting. You know, you can look at other countries around the world. You can look at Israel. Israel has given up Palestinians, militants they actually held to get Israeli troops back. I've seen that on any number of occasions. So it's not like this is somehow some shocking thing that's happened that hasn't happened anywhere else in the world. And I would probably say from the Israeli standpoint, the last person they want to give up is a Palestinian militant or one of their soldiers, but they have. So please explain to me how all of a sudden we are just so different from anybody else.
I'll tell you, because our policy has always been we don't negotiate with terrorists. Israel, because well, you asked me how. Now, well, let me. That's not a lie. Let me finish. This is different than Israel in many respects. First of all, Israel is a Jewish nation, and they have their own Jewish morals and their own Jewish beliefs, and it's based on that they would hand over 1,000 prisoners for the remains of a soldier who they wanted back. They've actually traded. Yes, but also for remains. But also for remains. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish. Now, Israel, and I love the left is bringing up the great state of Israel, who a lot of them despise, but as an example to follow. But Israel has soldiers. Guess what? In Israel, we have soldiers all over the world, and Barack Obama has now put a target on their back and has encouraged every terrorist in the world to kidnap American soldiers and Americans because they now see the result.
Steve, that's so utterly ridiculous.
Really? How so?
Steve, any terrorist out there with some common sense would know if you capture a U.S. First of all, a U.S. soldier, to capture a U.S. soldier is prized by anybody out there. So let's not act like somehow.
And when was the last time a U.S. soldier was captured?
Steve,
when was the last time a U.S. soldier was captured and terrorists were traded for him? I'd like to know.
Steve, if a U.S. soldier is captured,
when was the last time?
If a U.S. soldier is missing, Steve, if a U.S. soldier is missing, we are to get the soldier back. So cut the nonsense.
Roland, you just said, let's have a conversation. You just said that it's ridiculous. The theory put out by the highest ranking military officials in the world, in this country I should say, that this is obviously going to encourage people to try to kidnap Americans like Israeli soldiers are often. Wait, let me finish. And you say they know that already, they should be kidnapping them. And I'm saying, where's the last one who's been kidnapped and traded for terrorists?
Steve, what I'm simply saying is that if somebody out there captures a U.S. soldier, again, they got a prized possession. They've got somebody who they can put before the cameras. It is not. Look, years ago, did Syria not hold Goodman?
What's that? Years ago, what?
Did Syria not hold Navy pilot Goodman when Reverend Jesse Jackson went over there in 1984 and negotiated his return? I recall Reverend Jackson negotiating other returns.
And what terrorists did we give up for them?
And in those cases, we didn't. But in this case, we did.
And next time we will again?
Well, guess what, Steve? We hope there's not a next time. And you know what? Nobody knows what happens next time until the next time happens. Right. You can't predict the doggone future.
Well, you certainly made it more likely by doing this, I'll tell you that. Let me let you hear Susan Rice. I'd like to know what on earth is wrong with Susan Rice. Let's listen and watch this.
Anybody who's been held in those conditions in captivity for 5 years has paid an extraordinary price. But that is really not the point. The point is that he's back. He's going to be safely reunited with his family. He served the United States with honor and distinction.
She is supposed to be the national security advisor.
Do you, Steve Malzberg, do you have in front of you the official report of the U.S. Army?
I have in front of me, I'll tell you what I have in front of me. You just asked me. I have in front of me the statements and the video statements of soldier after soldier after soldier who was there. Wait a minute. You asked me, Roland. I have in front of me the note that the New York Times reprinted that he left when he walked away. I have in front of me the emails he sent that he was ashamed to be an American, sent to his father. I have all that, yet she says he was a hero. What's wrong with her?
This is very simple. When this soldier comes back and when the U.S. Army has their investigation and if they conclude that's the case, then you know we have something called court-martial, Steve. It's called the American legal system, the military legal system.
But she just prejudged it like you're accusing me. You're accusing me of prejudging. She just prejudged.
And here's what I'm saying. She goes on Sunday morning.
All right, Roland, stay where you are. Stay where you are. We're coming back with more. Roland Martin here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Don't go away.